What's going on? Can you hear me?
Hello.
Oh, there we go. Hey.
All right, this shit's confusing the hell out of me.
That's cool. You can hear me though, right?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, cool. Is Evul gonna get on?
Yeah. Hold on, he's messaging me. Let me.
Oh, okay. So this is gonna be my first time with two people. So this is gonna be a new edit for me.
Alrighty. Hold on. I'm telling people to leave me alone.
Shit. Speaking of which, let me mute my phone.
I sent him the link, and he said, "Do I plug in now?" And I said, "Yeah."
Yeah, he's joining in. He's saying connecting to audio also.
Oh, okay.
Heads up, I'm in a vehicle, so it might be a little shaky.
All right, no problem.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Everything's gonna be edited through and all that. So
you can cut out all the crazy secondness.
Yeah. All the
Yeah.
little mess ups and all that.
Oh yeah.
This is gonna actually, like I was telling, man, it's hard for me to call you Cody or Zodiac because I'm used to calling you Hack for so long. But
yeah,
telling him that this is the first time I'm doing two people on a podcast.
Oh.
So this is gonna be a different edit for me. I'm looking forward to it.
You can do up to 100 people. I don't know how the hell you would do 100 people on there, but it says it can.
Dude, I have no clue. I wouldn't even want to edit that footage. I would just throw it up there like, here. It's how it was.
Yeah, that has to be live.
I remember how I met Cody. I really don't remember how I met you, Evul. I've just seen you around. I've known Cody way more than I've actually known you.
It could be from shows, I guess, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. I went to more of the shows than he did.
I have no clue. I think you're at one of the Halloween shows I was at.
Could be.
But I remember class always talking about you and all that. So I knew of you. And then I think I found you over Facebook one day years ago or something.
Yeah.
And I think that's how we first connected. But I can't even remember that.
Yeah, I've been doing it since like 2001. So it's been a minute.
I feel like we're getting all really old because now we're like, God, how many years ago was that?
It's only 20-something years ago.
Yeah, only.
I mean, Jesus.
Well, I started when I was...
I was only 20-something years old.
I started when I was 21, and now I'm 40, so it's kind of creepy.
Yeah,
I'm 42, and I'm just starting this, this is only part one of one of the things that I want to do, that I'm trying to get going.
We're in that same process, bud.
So how did y'all meet?
I can tell you exactly the first night we met. Do you remember when Scotty D and a couple other people used to do that Church of the Dark Carnival thing where they met up at like IHOP and just bullshit? It was just a meeting. Yeah, it was like 2000.
Yeah, in that time I was up in Maryland.
Well, yeah, it was like all of those mini gatherings we used to have, but before mini gatherings were a thing. Right. We would just meet up every couple of weeks and bullshit.
I remember hearing about that though.
Well, I met Evul there one night and it turned crazy. He made us do all this. I mean, dude, we were like 16, maybe 15 even.
It was something like my CD release party, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah. And he made me punch my friend Jordan in the face. I had to do cartwheels while singing We Don't Die. I let him leg drop me. It was a crazy night.
Oh, got the slap.
Oh, yeah, the slap. The drive-by slap.
I remember there was one time we were at a party. You were drunk off your ass.
Oh, I know exactly which one you're talking about. When class was doing that, dude, that shit hurt. But no, Sean had also given me a pill that night. It would fuck me up, dude. I don't know what, who knows what all Sean was on,
Dude, I have no clue.
Well, he had all those chemical imbalances. He was like, here, take one of these. And I was like, okay.
I'll try that.
Terrible idea.
You got started in 2001, you said?
Well, I did. I was with another guy. His name was Assassin. And Cody was helping us, he was young, like they said. Cody's a lot younger than me, so they were always hanging around and stuff. And we were doing all these shows all the time. Because back then, the shows were just thrown at you. So
and we were really good at promo.
And so they were always helping me do promo, and then they ended up helping me, because I'm real theatrical, or I try to always on my shows. So they're always playing monsters and random stuff on the stage. And so that's kind of how that kind of snowballed from there. About Cody doing all that, helping us, him and Nate and a bunch of other people and stuff like that.
How'd you get started, Cody?
I was doing hype manning and stuff and lots of promotion. I mean, I went to Gathering 05 with Nick and Mondo and helped them up there the whole time, amongst a lot of other crazy shit. But
to give your second part of your question, I'm going to cut you off, Cody. I got hairbrain for a minute. I was with another guy named Assassin. Getting back to how we got to me and Cody, we were doing a project called Secrets of 13, and Cody and them again was around the whole time. And we released an album in 2003, and then we released an album in 2005. Then right around then, me and Assassin kind of split off, and so I was kind of doing my own thing. And then it was 2015 it was a minute until Cody beat all of us, or 13 maybe.
It was 2012 whenever we started doing Children of the Zodiac.
Yeah, so that's when we went back to doing my thing to doing up to now.
I started rapping in 2007, and we were just rapping for fun, and then we did a lot of shit, and then I went solo after all that shit fell through, and that's when I hit up Evul.
Yeah, I remember
when we start doing
every time
horrorcore.
I'd come over and hang out, you'd be like, "Dude, check this rap out. I'm going to start rapping." Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I remember you spitting some and all that when I was hanging out, and I was like, and then you finally said you were actually doing it. And then I saw that y'all got together, and I was like, that's going to be a good go.
I think we've had a pretty good run. You know, like I don't know, we're something of a little Texas gym. You got to dig a little bit to find us, but it's worth it. You know.
Right. What your latest track is? What's that called?
The Evil Within, featuring Insane Poetry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was us trying a new style, and you know, Andrew Insane Poetry has been a big influence on us. He's helped guide us. He's been somewhat of a mentor to us in the game, and he showed us a lot of love. We get a lot of love from Denver. So we got the chance to finally do a track with a Shy One beat, by the way.
That beat,
right? And then we'll get back to that here in a second. But I was like, man, it's a Shy One beat. That he's a legend, and this is right before he made his comeback that I bought the beat. And I had no idea he was doing that, and then I was like, man, I'm gonna throw Insane Poetry on this, and he was like, hell yeah, I've never done a Shy One beat, so it was really fun to do, and he's a great person to work with. He's worth every penny. Yeah,
he's a really nice cat. I mean, I
dude,
talked to him to do a show,
awesome.
But the show that we were gonna do fell through. But
yeah, but he's an awesome guy, man. His work ethic is amazing. So definitely gonna work with him again.
When did that come out?
That came out we put that out sometime in the middle of the summer. I think it was like June, July.
The newest we put out was like a Halloween track. We kind of threw it together real quick. I think the song was kind of good for what it is. We just threw it together. But back to what you were saying about the styles, we kind of decided that we do the horrorcore and all that, and the horrorcore to me has really no genre limit, like I told Cody. So we kind of decided we're going to try. It can be seen two ways. Like people that hate, they could be like, "Oh, y'all are selling out and jumping on something y'all never done before." I was like, well, no, we're going to try to challenge ourselves to do different styles with every album. Like we have called The Void. It's kind of a real dark. I mean, to me, I think it's like a real dark, it's a dark ass kind of witchcraft type album. And then Left Hand Path, like style. Apparently, you got some company. But yeah, we're going to try to.
In the trailer hood, bro.
So, what was that you were saying again? Before the honk?
I was saying that we're striving to try to challenge ourselves to do like pretty much every song that comes out. If we have a set theme for the album, but we're going to try to throw out something random like Mafia style or do old school horrorcore. And just each time mix it up so people can either see it either way. They're like, either we all are faking the funk. I was like, no, we're challenging ourselves to see if we can successfully recreate those styles that we were influenced by, So like the newest album that will be coming out will be called The Void, and then Left Hand Path will be pure Memphis style 3-6 Mafia. Old, like the dark stuff they used to do. We're trying to do like that. So
right.
Like, the Sacrifice, that's it.
I would take it as our take on the style of Lord Infamous horrorcore.
So not to compare y'all to Green Day, but kind of like Green Day, when Dookie came out, everybody in the punk scene called them sellouts and pussies and all that. So
I don't know anything about Green Day, but I assume that's probably on point.
Because I mean, they weren't doing they were changing it up every style.
Surprise people.
But no, I see what you're saying.
So, we're trying to, with each album.
All right. You cool?
Awkward
we were all talking over each other real quick. I didn't know if y'all were going to try to pick up.
Yeah.
I'll let him go. You go.
Okay. I guess about the style, like we were saying, yeah, that's like, I have a new song. We're going to the studio tonight. In fact, that's another thing we're setting up. We finally made a deal with some guys where I live, and they have a big studio. We're renting out our own studio, so we got our studio back, and so we're about to start hitting it heavy. And the song I'm working on tonight, it's completely different than what I normally do. Like, it's a lot of melody and singing, and it's kind of ghostly. It's something completely different. So as soon as we
got the mad scientist back, John Aaron, we got him back engineering our shit again.
John Aaron's real integral with the style. Everything we've released back, the majority, he helped make it what it is. And so we kind of separated for a little bit. And so now that I got things worked out, we got him back in place. So it's going to be, to me, I feel like it's going to be the way it used to be. So we'll be able to put out some really good stuff. Because Aaron, something about his style, we had some issues about, getting stuff out. It is a lot of personal stuff, but I worked it out with him where he's ready to fully go back into it and be able to knock them out. Because we told him, I said, we've worked with other people, no disrespect to anyone else we've worked with. We like everyone we worked with, but just we're used to messing with Aaron.
Everyone we worked with did a good job for what we asked of them. So, but there's just a chemistry with us and Aaron that you can't teach, man. So.
Right. Sometimes when you hit that right person, it just clicks.
Yeah, he's Mikey Clark to our ICP,
I was actually about to use that as an example because it was ICP couldn't find anybody, and then they hit Mikey Clark and they just stuck with him.
Or our fucking Fritz the Cat to Twisted, There
you go. Is he still with Twisted?
Dude, I don't know. And honestly, and I say this with the utmost respect, when I'm listening to Twisted, I take the whole song in as a whole. I don't really separate, the vocals from the instrumental. And but I was listening to some Fritz the Cat beats the other day, and I was like, I'm not super impressed with these beats. They're good, but it wasn't like, but it just goes to show that a song doesn't rely on one or the other. Like it has to be a combination of both. And it really fucked with me that I was like, man, I really thought his beats I guess that was Twisted picking up where I would have fell off,
Right. I can kind of see that. I mean, if you put in some trash lyrics to a dope beat, that beat's going to sound like shit.
Yeah. I mean, it's all over the radio. The beats are amazing, but it's the lyrics.
Right. It's the little things that you put in there and take out.
Well, they kind of...
You broke off there. I couldn't hear you, bud.
You can have it surrounded and vice versa. Did you freeze up?
I think he froze up.
I didn't freeze. I can hear him talking.
I'm here. I'm alive.
I was able to hear you.
I'm alive.
I can't see you.
Just had the big smile on
I'm
the
kind
face.
of in the foundation. I've been getting down a little bit.
There we go.
Right, yeah, it's no problem. So, hey, you're all about smoking on Instagram. Why'd you pull off on the camera? You just loaded it right on camera.
That's not the worst thing I've done in interviews.
It doesn't matter. I mean, first of all, he was talking. I could have edited that out. It's like you loaded right there on camera.
Man, oh well.
It's casual these days, all right?
No, I've got no problem with it. Before y'all got on. I just thought it was funny. You loaded it on camera, then smoked it off camera.
Well, I was thinking, I don't know if this is like a family-friendly podcast. Maybe I should do this, but I'm already here.
No. I cuss on it a lot. I just looked on Spotify today, and my demographic, it seems, it's 33 to 42.
That's a good demographic. That's like what like WWE and all that. They aim for that age range. That's what they care about.
That's about what my sweet spot's been.
Well, then you're right on point with pop culture, bro.
Hey, that's what I'm trying to do, I guess. Just
trying
to help people get their name out.
Yeah, I had a podcast that I was working on. I do it every once in a while. I did it last year. It was called the Midnight Hour Podcast, but mine wasn't live or anything. I'd record them, and I did like 3 or 4 episodes. We talk about like all kind of random shit, paranormal, wrestling, anything. But I'm working on trying to get those going again.
It's all the shit that makes Creature Clique.
Stuff, just weirdo shit, you know.
So how did y'all come up with Creature Clique?
All right.
That was a long road. Okay, there's 2 stories, right? Okay. All right. The first one is when I broke it down, I think what it deep down in our psyches is that we've always called like the meth heads and the crackheads and the junkies around Northside, we've called them like vampires or zombies or something like that. So they've always been creatures. And it was just kind of like an ode throwback to Northside's The Creature Clique, but also for the B-grade movie thing.
Yeah. Well, see, technically, me and him didn't come up with it. It was my friend Rob, because it was about 2016, wasn't it, Cody? When was it?
Yeah. It was
about December, around this time. Cody hit me up. He was like, hey, let's try this deal. He goes, come up with something. And so I'm throwing stuff together. And then I said something as a joke. I said Creature Clique as a joke, because I was thinking about the more cornball 60s Monster Mash type stuff. And I don't know how it came in my head. I said it as a joke. And then Rob was like, nah, it's actually kind of dope. He was like, it's kind of cool. So I ran it by Cody. Goes, oh, yeah, that's it right there, you know. So it was kind of a joke.
It kind of embodied the new sound we were looking for, as to where Children of the Zodiac was pure horrorcore. Like there was nothing else.
No humor, nothing.
But whenever we did this, we wanted to be able to venture into a little more, you know, just rap, goofy shit. Maybe if we wanted to have a little more range. So by adding the creature and the clique, it kind of gave you the sense of we're kind of walking the middle of both worlds there, you know?
Right. Since we've already brought up ICP, kind of like ICP. Like when I first heard of them, I'm like, it's the 90s. Who the fuck uses posse anymore?
Yeah, true. Like nobody.
Like I first saw their CD. I looked at it. I said, that's a dope album cover. It was the Riddle Box. You know, caught my attention. I was like, but who the fuck uses posse anymore? And I put it back down, left it.
Automatically made you mad. This is bullshit.
Here's a random thing. Back when Riddle Box was out, I was in at the mall, and this is how I was probably 14, 15 when that came out. And I remember I was looking through the CDs, and I remember seeing Insane Clown Posse, and I seen Riddle Box, and I actually dissed. I was laughing. I was like, what kind of whack shit is that? Like, I didn't get it what it was with the face paint and all that. I didn't remember that till years later. It's just the irony that I ended up getting into all that and going that whole route. I was like, oh yeah, I dissed them the first time I seen them. I didn't understand what it was. So it's just kind of funny, like that comes back full circle, and then just a funny thing, you know. But I always laughed about that. So technically, I came in around Malenko, but not the whole radio show and all the basic stuff that most of them did. We did it. We came into it as a whole with the whole CD. But yeah, so I do remember the Riddle Box era. It's just I didn't know what it was at the time. It's just kind of funny.
Yeah, I remember you want to go for a double irony on my story about that ICP CD. What? Years later, when the Amazing Jekyll Brothers came out, that's where I met them at the in-store. That same
yeah, we met them too at the show. That was our first show, the Jekyll Brothers tour.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was in Dallas. That was the first time we went and got to meet them and stuff like that. We'd met because in Texas, the whole story about when they threw the dart and they came to Dallas and all that. Well, that was not in our region really, because we're from Fort Worth, but it trickled over. And so at that time, we felt like we were real rare. Like once we got the humor when they released Malenko and all that, we got it, we went into it, and no one else was around. And so we started like 96, 97, then around 2000 is when I met Scotty D and them, because at that time we were still by ourselves. We didn't really know any other Juggalos. We went to the music store, and that's where our group met their group. It was on Halloween night. That was when they were releasing both Bazaars and Freak Show.
And keep in mind, this was like in the infancy of social media. You know, like it was still real hard to get things online seen. You know, so it was like miracles to stumble across this shit.
I remember that time when the Bazaar came out. That was that Halloween night party that they had going on, right?
Yeah.
I was actually in Detroit at Hallowicked during that time.
Oh shit!
Yeah, we get the slaughterhouse at the haunted house tour at the costume shop. Remember?
Hangman.
Around that time, because I was passing out I gave Violent J our CD and our first demo CD and some other stuff. So yeah, it was around that time we got that's what we got during that time. Oh, there's
that was like 2000, right? That was like 99, 2000.
Real quick, I want to put this out there because it always irritated me. Okay, a random coincidence. When we first put our first CD out, me and Assassin were working on it. Well, we were making a sampler. And so right around that time, ICP was promoting the Wraith and all that. It's just a funny thing that always irritated me. They had released 2 free songs. They released some songs, Not Your Business and something else.
Under the Bridge.
Yeah, those 2 songs, those 2 singles. So we had downloaded them, of course, got them, but we were all broke. So we had burned them. We burned them on one CD because we had those and we had the template album for our sampler to take to the studio for them to burn our sampler. And we only had one CD because we were broke. So we took it up there and I told the guy, I said, the last 2 tracks, do not put them on our sampler. And so he's all right, cool. So he professionally pressed our tracks, whatever, but he left the fucking ICP tracks on there. And so we went to the haunted house thing and I gave Violent J our CD and all that. And afterward I was like, man, I said, I found out that was on there. I was like, dude, he probably thanks for milking them with the whole Eminem thing. Hiding their track on our CD. I was like, no, dude, it was not like that. So I always wondered if they ever wondered that, like, these motherfuckers biting on us, or using our shit. It's like, no, it was just a random coincidence because the guy at the studio fucking did that. It always irritated the shit out of me. So every chance I get, I always tell that story. We weren't biting their coattails or have you say, like, we weren't doing that. It was just a random annoying ass coincidence.
Well, Von J, if you're listening to this or watching this, now you know.
Yeah.
Von J, if you're listening to this, we'll do it again.
Now I'll do it again. Now I'll do it on purpose.
You said something a little bit ago about Fort Worth and tracking over to Dallas. People that don't know Dallas and Fort Worth, they know it's branded as the Twin Cities, but it's so far away.
Well, see, it's kind of like gangs because we're from Northside. We're like, me personally, no disrespect to Dallas, but I never cared for Dallas, and vice versa. We met people, they don't like Fort Worth. Like it's like a gang thing. Like they like fuck Fort Worth or fuck Dallas. Like it's always been like that because they're 2 completely different cities to me.
We do not group ourselves in with Dallas.
And Dallas doesn't group them in with Fort Worth.
Yeah, they're the same.
And that's funny. We're okay with that. We're okay with that. We want it to be known that we are different places.
We were glad when ICP and them started doing shows in Fort Worth because we were tired of going to Dallas, and I always have nothing but bad luck. Every time I go to Dallas, I get arrested or I get tickets. It's always something lame.
I have that problem in Fort Worth too.
2000, they're hitting me up about every once in a while. But yeah, I don't know. It's always like the 2 sides. But ICP did start out in Dallas though with their whole thing. Yeah, they just kind of trickled over, and they were passed out. So I'm not really sure exactly how. I think ours, me and Rob had seen an ad for Malenko in a video game magazine, and he was like, "Hey, let's go check out that CD. It looks interesting." And then it was on from there. So that's how it was during that time. Yeah.
The very first time I actually listened to them and actually paid attention to who they were was a Malenko, the Halls of Illusions commercial came on. And I was like, oh shit, Clown's rapping. We got to check that out.
Clown's rapping?
So my friend listened to it first, and I listened to it because back then there was a place called Blockbuster Music to where you can listen to any CD in the store before you buy it.
I'll tell you a funny story about that too.
And he goes up and listens to it, and he's like, dude, this is like Marilyn Manson mixed with Ice Cube. I'm like, okay, now I definitely have to listen.
See, when Malenko came out, like what you were saying, we were broke, we were scrubs, we were 15, 16 years old. And so we go check it out. I was like, oh, that's awesome. And so anyway, we ended up going back to Warehouse Music where you can put the CD in and listen to it and all that. Well, we took a buddy of ours, Dirty J, over there.
Oh, goddamn Dirty J.
There, and this is back when CDs were like $20, whatever. So anyway, we're sitting around the thing and the guy puts it in there and we listen to the whole album front to back. And I always remember the guy turned his back and Jose reached over and he plucked the CD out of the tray and he stuck it in his pocket. And I didn't know that. And so I didn't know what he was doing at first, and then got home, and every time I'd go home and pop up a new CD, he just magically would just pop up with CDs. He'd go to the store and just steal them. He's like, because yeah, Sam, go ahead and get them CDs. You know what I'm saying? So we always were supplied with the CDs because Jose. So props to him. he
Gotta
made
love
sure
that, man.
He busted out with cassettes and everything. Like, damn, man, we already moved on from cassette. But that's how we signed up with the older albums. We thought that was their first album, the Malenko or whatever, at the time. And then I remember back later on, oh yeah, there was one more. So
see, I didn't even know. See, I knew about the other Joker cards. I found out about those, but I didn't know about like the Tunnel of Love and Terror Will. I didn't know about those until years later.
Yeah, they always had those. We were able to keep. I had a mess here. Yeah, we always kept up with it online and stuff like that. So we always knew when those CDs were coming out because some of our buddies, we busted out the CD and they wouldn't know what that is. Like a buddy of mine, I was playing like Beverly Kills or something. He was like, well, I didn't know I had that. And I was like, yeah, they released little mini albums and stuff like that. So we always let them.
Yeah, it was different. It was way different back then because you could just be when you popped it in and somebody was like, "Oh shit, you listen to this?" You knew it was a whole different thing back then.
Well, it's a double-edged sword. We call them the normals. You know, they would listen to it. And they're like, "What the hell's wrong with y'all?" And so it was a crazy thing. Like either like I said, both ways. Either people were like, "Oh, it's cool," or like, "What the fuck's wrong with y'all? Get out of here!" You know, like and that's what we felt. We felt kind of alienated until we met everyone else in our group. Right. That kind of stuff, you know, because it was a whole new thing to come down here. You know, they brought all that horrorcore and all that down here.
So when I first heard y'all's name, Creature Clique, you know the first thing that came to my mind?
What was that?
You know that Frankenstein that's standing in front of the mugshot?
Yeah.
Shit like that.
Well, that's our
dressed up in, in like some outfit in front of a thing, in front of a like that.
All choloed out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of our mascot unofficially because it visually represents what we're talking about, like a throwback to the classic stuff, kind of like Rob Zombie, White Zombie, stuff like that. Because Rob Zombie's technically horrorcore; he's just horrorcore metal, but they don't really.
Don't get us started on that. Don't get us started on that.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing.
Why is that?
Because we always tell people that Rob Zombie's horrorcore, and then they want to argue, but no.
Okay. This guy has the samples, everything. So he's
this is the first time I'm even. I guess I didn't even think of it, but let's hear the story. Let's just say I disagree. Why?
Well, White Zombie, like, okay, you got White Zombie, you got Rob Zombie. Okay, the first album with White Zombie in them, that album, the green one, I forget what it's called, Last Exorcisto, that album, front to back, is one of my favorite albums, but if you listen to it and compare it to the techniques of horrorcore, it's literally a horrorcore album. He don't even sing. He'll throw some grungy melody out there, but he's basically rapping if you think about it. A lot of his lyrics, na. So whether he knows it or not, and he has the samples, he's literally doing horrorcore. It's just he does metal. And it went on, he still does it with the sound clips and all that, the horror clips. So it just kind of went hand in hand that we were influenced by that. So we said, well, we'll take pinches of this and pinches of Twisted and Esham and all these, and we kind of built that's how everybody does. But we kind of took all that and amalgamated it into what we do. It's people, the hardcore metal guys, they're like, no, they're like, nah, White Zombie ain't making rap or nothing. So I'm not saying it's rap. I'm saying he's a version of, I'll give it that, he's a version of horrorcore metal, and he has scratching on sometimes, he has all the elements.
It's pretty simple. It's a pretty simple equation. Horror is the core of his music.
Well, even that, but also some elements.
That's a simple way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those arguments. Like it's the same as me trying to defend Freddy Krueger, saying he's not a child molester, he's a child murderer. I was like, don't get me started on that. So let's just not go there. But yeah, it's those kind of things. Like, bro, I'm like, bro. Yeah.
But yeah, I can see that what you're saying, Evil, because Lost Exorcisto, the Welcome to Planet Motherfucker. That's my favorite.
Yeah, I love that.
And that's like a rap beat.
Yeah.
Dude, every time I hear that, that's just like.
He's always added turntables and industrial type instrumentals before other people were doing it. Like he definitely was on some whole other shit,
Super sexy swinging sounds. That whole remix CD of his. Name one metal band that did that.
Mondo Sex Head is what it's called.
I mean, you can't call him new metal, nothing like that. He never rapped, nothing like that. But he kind of bridged the gap because you got hardcore metal people that hate rap, but it's like he kind of eased those things.
I think when you're talking about zombie, man, you're talking about that's just metal. Like that's just metal in general. Like you can't put a specific label on zombie. It's just metal. You know,
it's just all techniques. Like with us, we feel like we hit two genres. Like because Cody, his rap style is completely different than mine. Cody can rap circles around me when he really gets going. He does his style, and me, I do my more whatever, and we kind of mix because he can hit with the hip hop people on his stuff, and I can hit with my people, and we mix it together. Like he says all the time that people from all different groups that don't listen to horrorcore or vice versa, they're like, well, y'all are the exception. I was like, and I'm kind of appreciative of that, that we can kind of hit at least two different demographics. So Cody can probably explain that better, but you know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Well, it's like around here, we get a lot of love from like the actual hip hop lyricist rappers around here. That whole scene gives us a whole lot of love. They give us a lot of respect because they say, typically they don't like horrorcore, which is a lot of like what a lot of hip hop heads say. They feel it's too cringy for them sometimes,
But yet they'll Natural Born Killers by Dr.
Yeah,
Dre.
but then they say shit like that's what they'll say. But they'll say, but you guys come through. Y'all don't have those cringy ass lyrics. You guys are actually spitting bars, And then that's why we respect y'all out of everyone. And then the death metal kids just love hearing a rap form of what they do. So they're like fuck yeah, Creature Clique, So I was like,
tell them the irony though.
I said we get love from the hip hop community. We get love from the Texas death metal scene. I was like, but the horrorcore cats are hating.
They all hate us, I'm like, man, it's like, kind of sucks, It's like, whatever, bro. But
well, see, that's weird hearing because you talked about Isham, but you said y'all did a show with Isham and he gave you nothing but love.
He humbled the shit out of us. He really did.
And plus, also, people shit on him a lot and say he's an asshole. He was totally cool. Like, he didn't front. He didn't act weird. Like, he was totally cool. Like, I never understood that. I mean, maybe he has his days, whatever, but he was cool. He was respectful. And I didn't see none of that the way they've always kind of proceeded. So the hate's going to be there no matter what. But sometimes they'll build it up. You're like, dude, it's not even like that. Like with us, we try to be cool with everybody. But we just feel like in our scene,
Correction. He tries to be cool with everybody. I don't try to do shit.
I try to be more of the peacemaker and all that. But ultimately, though, we're not shitty to people. Like, we're always, like, people that come to our shows, we're always cool with everybody. But again, with the politics of this, everyone's in the race. So you're going to get people that are like, man, fuck them guys. And so it happens. So we're not crying about it. It's just kind of funny, It's like, we know we're good we believe we're good at what we do. So that's good enough for us,
Right. You'll get fans wherever you get fans. It doesn't matter. You don't need a certain.
Oh yeah, we get a lot of love from like the Colorado area, man. They showed us a lot of love every time we go up there. A lot of our fans come from there that are outside of the local scene.
Man, it's weird with all this going on. I mean, when do you think shit'll be right to where people can go places like that again and do shows like that?
When Trump's out of office and they put in the guy they want, and then COVID goes away, there's a vaccine. Whatever. I really don't give a shit who's president. Let me go back to the concert.
No, they're gonna milk it for another year, so that's a whole nother thing. Hopefully, it'll go back to where it is around here. We can get out and go eat and do basic things, but there are still baby and spoon feeding us with all this shit. I'm like, calm down, bro. Like, so there is. It's like. On some stuff, you can go to events. Like you said, you went to Haltom Theater and certain things. But overall...
Yeah, I went to a show at Haltom Theater last night. It's a real nice venue. And it was pretty cool. They were serving alcohol, too.
Kind of either or.
That's nice. But I forgot what I was going to say.
You're going to have to edit that.
I think I might. I might just leave it in. What was I gonna say?
A brain fart.
Yeah, big brain fart. because I cut myself off. Then it just went.
Hey, you are old like me.
You were asking about the COVID shit and when we think shit was going to go back to normal.
I'm glad you said that. I was going to ask y'all about the show, the Halloween show.
The Shy One show?
Yeah.
Dude, that was amazing. It was extremely badass. Shy hasn't lost a step at all, man. And it was you could just feel that dude's energy when he's there. Our set kind of messed up at the end. I overall wasn't happy with it, but the show overall was real good. Cool to see Mad Max, McNasty, and I've been threatening Mondo and McNasty all week that if they didn't do Killomatic around Christmas or around Halloween time, while they're both in the same state, that I was gonna riot. And they kept telling me they weren't gonna do it, and then they fucking did it.
Yeah, they were talking about that in the hotel room. I don't know, before we headed out that way.
They kept it up until right in the end, but I saw McNasty run backstage, and I was like, oh, they're gonna do it.
Dude, you know, like how Johnny Cash did "Hurt" and like pretty much made that his song.
Yeah.
Oh, he took that.
I feel the same way when Shy did "Prom Queen."
Yeah, he did that. He did that. It was cool. It was the vibe was definitely on point.
Yeah, I definitely feel that he took that song away from ICP.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he stole that.
Right now.
I just wish he'd be able to get the rights to that so he can put it out.
Yeah.
Just do it live.
Well, that's kind of one of those things that, we'll always have. Like, you saw Shy One live if you've heard Prom Queen.
That's an interesting point because was it back in the early 2000s? There was an album you can buy. I guess some metal band did it. They were doing ICP covers. I think it was pretty bad though. But I never thought about people going and licensing ICP songs to redo them. So that's kind of interesting. I didn't think about that. But
I thought about that a while ago, but I just never acted on it because I didn't have any money for it.
Yeah, who knows how much it costs? But there was a band that put an album out. I don't know if they did it bootleg or what, but you can. People told me it wasn't that great, but they were doing covers, like full screaming ICP covers. I was like, okay, but so I was like, there are a lot of. Cody always tells me, he makes fun of me because I'm old. It's debate how old I am, so he was telling me to always do. Was it I Want My Shit?
Yeah, born in 1775. He's like 300 and something, but he's still alive.
Well, I need to do that. I'm gonna do that cover. I'll just do it bootleg and put it out anyway for free. Still do it.
So, the place that y'all record, or is it Funny Farm Records or Cemetery?
No,
Records?
that was our old label, Funny Farm. Shout out to them. They're still cool. We're cool. We wanted to do our own thing. So we're back to just doing Cemetery Records now.
Back in, we had a setup at a house we were at, and we lost the building, and so there's a period where we didn't have a studio. Well, here in Northside where we live, Aaron and Dirty J, and then they come across some guys that have a big, it was a church that converted to a studio, and they have several rooms, and so we made a deal with them. We just made it like Thursday. We're renting out an entire little studio there it's our own. So we're going up there tonight actually. And so them guys, they gave us free reign to do whatever we want. So it's back up and running. We just got to do some upgrades on some of the equipment. I'm going to be posting on our Instagram as we do updates I did one last night, the first one. So it's going to be dope.
Click on Instagram and Facebook, assholes.
It's just Instagram /Creature Clique, spelled regular. Nothing fancy.
Just Instagram and Facebook? No Twitter? No TikTok?
There's probably a Twitter, but we don't ever post on it. So.
Mine does auto forward, so it'll be like Twitter /Evil Dead, but it usually just forwards whatever we do. I don't really fuck with Twitter. A lot of it, I may sound stupid, but I don't understand how to use a lot of that because they make some of that shit confusing, like with was it Snapchat and all that? I tried it before, and I was like, man, I ain't know how to work this shit. I'm gonna stick with Instagram. I was like, bro.
Me and you in a whole different category, man.
You're reversed, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I like Instagram because you can post.
I'm at the parts where I'm like, oh my God, I'm asking my son for help with electronics.
I have a Twitter, but I get on it, but I don't really post a whole lot.
Yeah, I usually have mine automatically post to Twitter when I do it from Instagram.
Yeah, that's what we do.
What are y'all working on to get out next?
Well, we're going to put Razor Blade Saviors, which is the album we released back when the quarantine first started. We're about to put it on Spotify, and then shortly after that, we're going to release an album called Call of the Void, which is what we've been working on this entire year. And after that, we've already begun work on the album after that called Left Hand Path too.
When are y'all putting it on Spotify?
Well, we're trying to. We've been bullshitting a lot, and we had with the issue with the virus, just lots of stuff kind of compounded it. But now finally I think we're getting there to where we're trying to get everything set up. So I've been telling Cody, like, I've been meaning to. It's just I work so much. I work like 6 days a week. So we're just trying to balance the thing. And I'm going to get it on there because people have been asking us because we only have a couple of singles on there. I was like, nah, I got to get those up. So I've personally tried to make that a mission to get those. I got my album too that I did. As far as I know, the thing's legal. I didn't steal anything on there, so I should be able to put it on there. Just got to have time to sit down and do it, and do the whole process, whatever. But that is on our plans. We have at least 3 albums we're going to put on there to kind of up the library.
Okay. Well, I was just wondering because maybe I can coincide this with the release of that or something.
Yeah, we're going to try to work something out because, I do a lot of writing when I'm at work. Every chance I get, I'm writing, so. Like as far as Call the Void, I would say it's about 90% physical. Like it exists 90%, but Cody's got to patch in a few things. But all in all, it just needs to be mixed, and so that's what we're going now to start getting that. Yeah. That's going to have to go the way, and then we're going to go to the next one.
Things will start rolling a lot quicker now that we have our studio back.
I've been releasing 2 albums pretty quick.
Also, I'm going to be starting like a Spotify TRSP playlist of that was on the podcast, and I put a few of the songs that I like of theirs on the playlist.
Yeah, that'd be good.
We only got 2 songs up right now, but that'll change soon.
I like the Dabs and Acid though. That's a dope song.
Yeah, we got a lot of love for that. We went at we reached a different style there.
That's okay. Here's a funny story about that. Okay, I call it pulling it out of your ass. Okay. We'll sit there. We had our routine. We used to go to our old studio. We were there religiously every weekend. Okay. Well, at one of our sessions, I don't know if you heard the song "Creature." Cody hates the song because we kind of wore it out.
I was supposed to do a video for that.
Yeah, there it was. And so eventually we'll try to. But like that, we pulled it out of our ass. We recorded that at the last minute. It came together. Well, Dabs and Acid. I think Cody showed me the beat, and I was like, "That's totally different." And we kind of come up with a theme. And I said, "Well, first of all, I may sound kind of like a poser." I was like, I don't do drugs. I don't do nothing. Cody can tell you that. I'm a square.
Allegedly.
Yeah, I took that story. I said, I'm going to build a story on it if I did. And that's how Dabs and Acid came together as far as my verse and all that. So it's one of my favorite songs. It came out really funny for the story aspect. But again, overall, it has that weird-ass sound. So I think we captured that pretty good about the whole being in a trance drug type shit, so it was different.
Oh, y'all did. And you definitely don't have to do drugs or anything to rap about them because, Rehab, Danny Boone from Rehab, he stopped drinking and stopped doing drugs. He still talked about that for the longest time.
It's just me. I've never personally ever, I've done stuff here and there, of course, everyone has, but all in all, it's just not my thing. I don't even hardly drink, very, very rare or anything. So I'm I don't call myself age. That's kind of cringy, but I don't do anything.
I do enough for the both of us. It's fine.
Cody takes care of it for us. Whenever we're in Colorado, he always forces me to do stuff.
Yeah. It's legal.
You're not breaking the law there.
Oh, all right. It's legal, right? Just a second.
Wrong pipe.
Don't die on video.
Yeah, we don't need to die on video because then it won't be released.
Die on video? That'd be a smut video. What do they call it? Be down?
No, shit. I saw the movie on this the other day. Snuff video.
Yeah, snuff. That's what I meant. Snuff video. Yeah.
8mm style, bro.
Yeah, that's what I was. That was the movie I was talking about. That was the first time I ever saw Norman Reedus in a movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Fucking.
So what do y'all do in y'all's off time?
Be a dad.
Yeah, Cody's got, I don't have any kids. It's kind of funny, like how I was laughing one time when ICP was giving interviews because people was like, well, the conception is y'all are up each other's ass all the time because you're ICP. And they're like, no, actually, we don't hang out a lot, like other than doing our thing. And that's kind of how me and Cody is. It's funny, like we don't really hang out all the time, but it's there. You know, what we have is there. It's just funny. We don't see it all the time. So he's doing his own thing, and I do my thing.
So we're adults, man. Realistically, you can't hang out with your boys all the time and get shit done. You know?
It'd be a different story if you were like 18, 19.
Yeah, exactly.
Back then, it was different.
Yeah, it was way different.
Yeah, you didn't have responsibilities as you do now.
Exactly.
Well, I kind of made the decision about that, doing music. I was like, I didn't want to have kids and stuff like that. Just me personally. I figured, you know, if I'm going to try to do this, I mean, on one hand, I wanted to pursue it full, do the whole thing, but I was like, ultimately now, I'm fucking 40. I'm just going to do it and have fun with it. It's like all the things I'm doing with writing and all that. But like with Cody, we're having kids. So it's just a balance, like, depending on what your situation is. We got a lot of factors working. You know, I work 6 days a week. He's working. So we try to, if anything, stay online, stay on top of each other with what we're doing. So, hey, I got this. I'll shoot him beats back and forth. So it's like we're there. We're friends. Like we're there digitally a lot, you know, but at least we try to, it's always.
Yeah, I mean, we talk almost every day. We just don't hang out every day.
Yeah. We come together for the shows and record. So hopefully it'll change now. We can get back our routine because it used to be on. We had our spot because that was our spot. I mean, we did everything. So we were able to.
Well, every other week now, every other Saturday, we'll be meeting up.
Think that's about it.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you having fun, man.
What else? Before y'all go, I mean, I know y'all plugged y'all's social media earlier, but is there anything else y'all want to plug?
Just keep up with Creature Clique on social media. Follow me. I'm pretty much Cody Zodiac on everything.
We try to keep it simple, like Creature Clique / whatever you're going on, and you should be able to find us. So
yeah, and there'll be a lot of stuff coming out soon. We don't really have any shows lined up because we're working on the brand right now, but there's probably going to be a lot of new shit coming at everybody and coming at a more consistent.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that Creature Clique / dash or underscore? /
usually like Facebook / Creature Clique and so on. Instagram /
yeah, Creature Clique, no spaces.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's pretty much on like everything too.
Yeah. All right, and you can find y'all's music on Spotify, Apple, what?
Just Creature Clique. Yeah, it should be on all streaming platforms. At least those 2 songs, but there'll be more very soon.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Anything y'all want to say?
Have a great season.
Short and sweet. Yeah, we appreciate the time. I mean, anytime, man, just hit us up.
That'll do, pig.
But hey, when all this quarantine shit gets done, we should get together so we can do a video.
We will do it. Good. I've been telling Cody, like, I'm still trying to get Creature done. I got plans, bro. So as long as I don't drop over, so we'll get it done. I'm trying to learn. I want to learn Flash. I want to make movies, Flash movies. I want to make videos like that. So
Speaking
I got a lot of
shit. Which I'm thinking of a little YouTube thing I want to put together that I'm putting together. I'm calling it. I'll edit this out, but I'm calling it right now. The working title.
That'll work.
But if so, you want to do episode or 2?
I'm down.
That's right up his alley, not so much mine. I only go pop culture on wrestling.
Hey, who knows? I may throw one of those in there.
No, then I'd be the guy to call for that. But everything else pop culture, that's evil.
Cool.
Get at me.
All right, man. Well, y'all take it easy.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
All right, have a good one.
All right, you too, man.
Later. Well, I hope you enjoyed the interview. If you did, hit that little subscribe button back there. Don't forget that little bell thing that they got. That way you're notified for whenever we get a new episode, which comes out every Monday. Don't forget to leave a message. Don't forget to leave a comment. Also, you can go to iTunes, subscribe, and leave a comment there. You can find us on Spotify, anywhere you listen to podcasts. Oh, yeah. We got this thing called Instagram. I'm on that, too. You can find me at IamTRSP. Also, same name handle on Twitter. Go follow me there also.
leave me an email at redheadedstepchild@gmail.com. That's redheadedstepchild@gmail.com. Know thee. Don't forget the audio version has a special intro and outro audio part only. I look forward to seeing you again. Talk to you next week.